Hopefully
only the interesting ones.
hopefully they are interesting. So thanks everybody for jumping on.
Hello.
We will give everybody just a minute or two to jump on before we get started.
And while we do that, I need everyone to look at Greg's mustache.
No one can even see it. I mean,
what do you guys think? Should it stay or should it go now?
What does this have to do with living in Mexico? I've got to have a mustache to be...
No. Just, you guys tell us, should it stay or should it go? You hold the ultimate vote, because clearly my vote didn't count on this one.
Well, comment below when the video's done. Let us know what we should do. I probably need
what to do with the stash. I'll even put it in a baggie and mail it to you if you want.
Tori said go. Tori, get out of here.
Thank you. I think it should also go.
It needs to go, but
baby face is better. I agree.
When you don't have a real boss, you can look like an idiot.
Someone said he holds the vote. It's his face, but he doesn't have to look at it. So
that's true. Today we're talking about differences between living in Mexico and traveling in Mexico. And the reason we want to talk about this is because we've been living in Mexico for over 2 years now. But the last year and a half or so, we've mostly been traveling in Mexico.
Yeah, it's been really fast and furious.
And especially since the last year, we've been traveling fast and furious, almost exactly a year. And when we did live here in Mexico, I say did, when we were living more long-term, like in Vallarta and then Mexico City, it was still just in Airbnbs for short-term leases. Nothing in the apartment was ours at all. Mm-hmm. Now we have a 12-month lease in Mexico City. We had
which is like eternity to us.
An unfurnished
Thank you,
apartment.
Crazy Dad 68 for
Crazy
super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the super chat. So, what is one of the differences between living in Mexico versus our life traveling in Mexico?
Well, I didn't really think about this, and this is not on the list of things we were going to talk about. But I am sort of a little bit of a germaphobe. And so I feel like super excited about having our own couch, sheets, and towels. Any other girls out there with me? No, seriously. Even we've lived and stayed in some incredible Airbnbs, some very, very nice hotels, to some not so nice hotels. Actually, a hotel recently had a fingernail on the pillow when I got there. Flicked that baby off and went to sleep. Anyways, all that to say, living in Mexico versus traveling in Mexico is buying your own set of sheets to rest your head on at night. And I feel like that's like,
I think, it's our own.
It's like a metaphor for sort of how we feel.
No fungus in your feet.
Bed bugs, exactly right. Somebody else on here is a germaphobe, and you feel me.
Was that not? No, that wasn't Tori. It's having your own pillow, having your own sheets, having your own couch. Again, even no matter how nice it is. I mean, we house sat in an extremely nice apartment in Vallarta for several months, but it still wasn't ours. So now I think there's this interesting feeling of having something, because before we literally had 3 suitcases and that was it. And I think that was a lot of fun, and we are going to be traveling again very soon.
48 hours.
But
less than.
When we get done with traveling, we'll be able to come back home.
And I will not have to flick any fingernails. I shouldn't.
Our own mattress, our own pillows, our own sheets.
Yeah, it is. Nice. That has been one of the biggest things, is that everything in here is ours. And now, obviously, we don't own the actual apartment, but and we clearly don't have a lot. You can probably still hear my echo. But it does feel nice to have our own sheets and pillows. And another thing that goes along sort of like with that home side of things is laundry. Doing our own laundry. It has been so...
Yeah.
We just rushed around from hotel to Airbnb, and some of them had a washer, which was so nice. Mm-hmm. And we would buy like a little tiny packet, and so it does feel It does feel like we're playing house. I keep telling Greg it feels like we're playing house. Thank you so much, Robert, for your super chat.
Gracias,
super chat,
Roberto.
Super chatty.
Yeah, before we never really had washer dryers. We had them, but for the most part, we had to go to lavanderias, which is nice, but then also gets expensive and adds up, and it's just kind of like walking through Querétaro with your underwear in a bag. It was never necessarily that fun. That was probably one of the only times when I was like, please, no one recognized me.
Merida was really hot, and it was like your plastic bag of laundry stuck to you, and it's like, please, no, nobody.
Another interesting thing about living, if you're just jumping on, we're going to do some question and answer here in just a minute or so, just a few minutes. We're talking about the difference between living in Mexico and traveling in Mexico. We had been traveling Mexico, now we're more living in Mexico, if you will. We have a 12-month lease. One thing, like, I feel like we have a different perspective on what it's like to be here in Mexico, in the sense of we had to set up internet. Telmex?
We're not off to a good start.
Does anybody enjoy Telmex?
Yeah, do you guys have any positive experiences with your Telmex contract?
So we set up an appointment. They sent us an email, said we're going to show up on some Saturday.
They sent us a confirmation email, which was surprising, but okay.
We're going to show up on Saturday. No time whatsoever, just sometime on Saturday. Okay, well, we'll be home Saturday. Of course, we
sat here all day. At like 7 p.m. on Saturday, I was like, you know what? They might still come. It's Mexico. Even though we go to bed at 7, the people that come and install the internet, they might not go to bed at 7. So we need to stay up. And then I feel like around 9, it was like, I don't think they're coming. Like, they could still come.
We tried to call, and never worked.
I chatted with them online, and it felt like a real person, and then all of a sudden they were just like, your chat has been disconnected.
Yeah, so setting up Telmex, I think, gave me a deeper appreciation for every one of you that lives in Mexico, and I thought dealing with AT&T in the States was bad when they give you a 4-hour window, but no window at all.
And then never coming.
They eventually came.
They were supposed to be here by noon, and they showed up around 2:30, so it was like right on Mexican time. It was perfect. And now we can do lives.
More about that story in the video to come. Yes, obviously they finally did come a week and a half later.
Yes.
But
Telmex is bad. A lot of complaints. Telmex sucks. Well,
yeah.
We'll see. Vamos a ver.
Buying furniture.
Thank you, Joe.
Gracias, Joe. So we rented an unfurnished apartment, which sometimes we just do things that don't make any sense whatsoever. What's going on from Brownsville?
Your voice just changed. What's going on, y'all?
And buying furniture in Mexico has been interesting.
And also a struggle. So we got here the first day and tried to buy a mattress. Couldn't find a mattress anywhere. It was like all the mattress sales that we could find were only done online. So we found an airbed. We're like, this is great. Maybe it'll work for the whole year. We don't know. Well, after 3 nights of hardly sleeping on a freezing cold airbed,
this ain't gonna work.
We were like, this is not gonna work. So getting the mattress alone. So we bought a mattress. We set it up to be delivered. Again, there was no window, right?
Yeah, you're right. They didn't come either.
So then we waited all day. We finally called the mattress people, and they're like, oh, we came. No, we came, but you weren't home. And, well,
in which we were home all
day. We never had any missed calls. They said they called us. We didn't have any missed calls. So we're sleeping on the airbed again. So getting furniture... the same with, we have a dining room table, a couch, and a bed
and that's
for furniture. Oh, and a chair.
And we've actually, an interesting thing for those of you that either live in the United States and want to live in Mexico, or those of you who have only lived in Mexico, there's a lot of things in Mexico that are a lot cheaper than in the U.S. Furniture is absolutely not one of them. Furniture is like 20, 30, 50% more expensive.
It is the strange things that are more expensive. Now, I know some of you are screaming at us saying, well, you should have gone to this market and gotten furniture. But here's the thing, like, I didn't want to buy a used mattress and used sheets necessarily, and we have no way to transport it. I didn't want to pay someone across town and count on them to deliver it, and so like logistically, would have been more expensive, and also, but like we tried to buy things the cheapest. A lot of you guys recommended Walmart. I feel like that's where we got some. We have 2 coffee cups. That's all we really need.
No plates still.
No plates still. Thank you, Abraham.
Gracias, Abraham. To clarify, the furniture markets are not only used things, but it was more of an issue of transporting things. Like we found stuff in some areas, but it's like, well, I really like this dresser, but we have no way of getting this dresser from this neighborhood.
So we just didn't get a dresser.
So we mostly just don't have anything. But it's been interesting because over the last year, we have perfected traveling in Mexico. We know the bus schedules. We know how to travel.
Yeah.
Like we can do it quick,
we know what to
easy,
pack. We can pack
fast,
up all of our
light.
belongings in like, probably 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes. And like we did it all last year and we perfected that. And I think before that would have been like, before we did it, it was like,
even the first time we went to Vallarta for 4 months, I'm pretty sure I packed my entire closet. Suitcases full of clothes. Because everyone needs sweaters and heels there.
But what we didn't develop was like, I just feel like some of these things we're experiencing now is like actually living in Mexico, learning how to shop for furniture, learning, I don't know, just what it's like to be in one spot for more than 3 days.
Right.
Being able to cook, going grocery shopping.
Knowing where the light switches are.
We never grocery shopped before. Knowing where the light switches are in our place, not checking into hotels every other day. And don't get us wrong, we're going to travel quite a bit this year coming soon. But it's been an adjustment. Yeah, and hopefully through our videos you'll get, depending on when you're watching or what time period of our videos you're watching, you'll see. So I'm just living in Vallarta, dealing with the heat, lots of traveling now, just living in one spot. So I don't know. I think
it is a huge transition. Another thing we've learned is that we're incredibly messy. So for an apartment with a dining room table, a couch, and a bed, our stuff is everywhere. And that's something that we've always packed up our stuff every 3 to 5 days, maybe 10 days max, but like our place or hotel never got messy because we sort of literally lived out of our suitcase. And now we have shoes and clothes and a backpack and camera gear. And so it is interesting. It's a big transition.
Yeah, I feel like
you guys are coming with us.
Really just a big experiment. And it's like we pretty much decided 1 week, hey, let's rent an apartment because I feel like we want to have a home. And then the next day we found an apartment, and then like the next day we signed a lease. So it all happened extremely fast. So it's really just an experiment. So it could be a massive failure, but nonetheless, I feel like you'll get some good entertainment out of it. But so far, I would say living in Mexico, obviously us living in Mexico is going great because we're still here, but living in Mexico as we are with a 12-month lease, so far, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think every day we both say how thankful we are to be able to have a place and bring you along with us. And I think I'm looking forward to spending a lot more days being healthy, because I think towards the end of 2018, traveling every day and eating every single meal outside of our own home, not prepared by us, sort of started to take a toll on us and our health.
It really did. I think at first it was like, well, we can eat whatever we want.
Yeah.
And it started to catch up with us, not necessarily in weight, but just in our
general sort of how we feel.
Health.
Thank you so much, Andres. Aw, thank you. Shout out to my girlfriend, Liz Hernandez. I barely saw it in time. Thank you, Sergio, for tacos.
Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias.
I guess that's really, there's probably some other things we can think of. We want to chat with you guys. We've been talking at you long enough. Thank you for everybody who is on our live.
Anybody that's asked a question up until this point, we did not see it. The comments fly on this thing. I don't know what it looks like on
Saludos desde Brazil.
Y'all's side, but on our side, they just fly away.
Yes.
You guys are awesome. I'll read that one.
Lots of Super Bowl comments. Who do you want to win the Super Bowl?
Does anyone really want to see Tom Brady win the Super Bowl again?
He lost last year. But I get you.
But no. Rams. I'm only for the Rams because I don't want the Patriots to win. And really, I'm just here for the snacks.
Snacks. Visit Portland. We would love to visit Portland and Washington, Oregon, that whole area.
Rams. More tacos. DFW. Reefer. How is the weather right now? Someone asked about the weather. It's funny you asked.
It's amazing.
It is like sunny and mid 70s almost every single day. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt because we went somewhere outside a bit chilly earlier today.
You'll see that video coming semi-soon. Rams, more tacos, más
When are you going to go to Michoacan?
We don't have any concrete plans to go back right now, but we were 100% for sure going back this year because if you've seen our Michoacan videos, you know that we love Michoacan, Michoacanos, comida michoacana, and just everything about Michoacan is calling my name.
Hello from Houston.
Hola from Houston.
See, then the comments start going really slowly, and we see one. I'm just keeping you guys updated that this is harder than it looks. We see one, and then it'll be like 15.
Vamos Eagles.
Say hi to Brazil.
Wrong year, bro. Wrong year. Or bro.
What?
Someone said go Eagles, but that was last year.
Oh.
Oh, now they're going quick.
Now they're going so fast. I live in San Antonio. Oh, we have family in San Antonio. As long as it's not the Patriots, I don't care. That's kind of how I feel.
I think that's how most
Thank
people
you
feel.
so much, Hoover, for your super chat.
I can't touch it or else our phone will fall off of its stand. We're in Puerto Morelos. I'm sorry, I missed that one.
I live in East Texas, Mexico. Oh.
East Texas. What part of East Texas do you live in? That's an interesting place to live, I would think.
Are you aware that Tom Brady is a cheater?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the whole, I feel like everybody is cheating.
Nightlife in Mexico City.
They just happen to get caught. That's just me.
Nightlife in Mexico City, what do you say, Goyo?
Where? Like what part of Mexico City we doing nightlife? La Condesa. I don't know if we can afford nightlife in La Condesa.
We cannot afford nightlife in La Condesa. Where would you recommend Americans first move in Mexico? Okay, we'll assume you're talking about estadounidenses, people from the United States or Canada, I guess. Where would we recommend you move?
It really depends on, I guess.
I would say before you move, come and make like an ultimate trip. It's like, it's so broad. Imagine your home country, whether it be the United States or Canada or France, for that matter. Like, recommending a person to move and commit for the rest of for long term. Like, where would you tell them to move? It sort of is like, well, I need to start the start of the flow chart and like work my way down.
Yes, send us an email at kinetickennons@gmail.com and kind of let us know what you're looking for. Beach, nice weather, whatever it is, and we can try and help guide you in the right direction.
I can help you fill in that flow chart.
Like, we love living in Mexico City, but it's
not for everyone.
Necessarily, it's not for everyone. Someone said we should go to Oaxaca. It seems like an interesting place. We are going to go to Oaxaca again this year. We went last year to Puerto Escondido, Huatulco, and Oaxaca City. And we love Oaxaca and the food there. I feel like every place we say we love, I have to mention that we love the food.
Someone asked what we think about Querétaro. Obviously, we stayed in Querétaro for several months and loved it there.
Beautiful.
It's
highly
beautiful.
Underrated.
We think we're going to go back.
Yeah, we
soon.
have some interesting
We talked
plans.
about renting a car. What do you guys think about that?
Ooh, yeah. It's a good
Let me
idea.
preface that with, we have not driven in Mexico.
Yes.
So we're a little bit like...
But the state of Querétaro has a lot of things to do. For such a small state, it has a little bit of everything. Again, I think the state even is highly underrated. And like, if you can get to the city of Querétaro, you can really get around the whole state pretty easily. So yeah, Querétaro, we love you.
¿Qué más? Visit Chiapas?
Yes, we really
Soon.
want to go there soon. And we've been saying that for a while, but this time
we mean
we're
it.
actually
Leah!
going to go.
Leah! Oh, thank you, Leah. Do not rent a car in Mexico.
Ooh.
Do you like Santa Fe or Polanco?
I would go with Polanco.
Mitrobot, thank you so much. You don't need a Mexican license. No, driving in Mexico is crazy.
No, someone said, oh my gosh, don't you need a Mexican? No, I think you can just drive with your normal license. I mean, maybe to like buy a car. But if you just rent a car, it's like when you travel to anywhere. I'm pretty sure you can rent a car
We
in
rented
most
a car in
countries.
Costa Rica. I'm going to Puerto Escondido next week.
Nice.
How did you feel about the bars or nightlife? I'm sorry, Lauren. I don't feel like we're much help.
Yeah, we kind of stayed in an area not too close to the bars and nightlife. But
yeah, I think there's Playa Cicatela.
If you stay over there,
I think it's probably pretty safe, and you can walk. I don't even think you need a taxi.
We felt really safe in Escondido.
Yeah.
And the people in Oaxaca are extremely nice. So just when in doubt, just
ask.
I guess depending on your level of Spanish, just ask. People will be helpful. But yeah, I mean, it's like a surfer kind of beach.
Yeah.
Town,
Is it easy finding a home? I mean, like Greg said, like we found this place and rented it like all within a week, maybe.
But you have to I would search in Spanish. Don't search in English.
Yes.
Search.
Airbnb is like so expensive, and like there's Segundo Mano, I think, is a good website, and then Inmuebles 24/7.
Yes.
I think something like that. Somebody help me out. Those two, and there's one more that I can't think of. Are good places to look, but I would look up in Spanish. Yes.
Yes, do your Google searching in Spanish. Just use Translate or whatever. You'll find a lot better stuff than if you try and Google things in English. That's my pro tip. Where should we eat first? There in Mexico City, Leah.
Oh, I think let's eat again.
I would find the busiest taco stand. Find a taco stand that's busy.
Do they actually have corn in a cup in Mexico, or is that just a Texas thing? That's a really funny question. That is for real. I actually remember in Vallarta, along the Malecon, I said that really English, along the Malecon, they had several different types of elotes. So there's elotes and esquites. One's like roasted corn on the cob, and the other one's in a cup. I like the cup because it's easier to eat. But then, for those of you that don't know, corn in a cup or elotes, you can put it's roasted corn, and sometimes they I think, cook it with different things. I think you can get like chipotle or butter. Yeah. And then you can put mayonnaise, cheese, salsas.
Yeah, it's definitely a real thing. And like most foods in Mexico. Today? Yeah. Okay. Like most foods in Mexico, it's different. You'll find different, like elotes and esquites are probably a little bit different each part of the country. Someone asked, I believe it was Mike, asked about any tummy issues from all the delicious food we eat. Luckily, knock on wood, no, not really. I mean, we're fairly careful in terms of washing our own hands, and again, go to stands that are busy. No one else in the city wants to get sick. Yeah. So if you just go where other people are eating, for the most part, that's more likely that place.
Yeah, I think we might have said this before, but the good thing about taco stands, it feels weird at first to eat on the streets. But the good thing about taco stands or any sort of street food is you can literally see into the kitchen. You can see your food being prepared, which is something that we don't have the luxury of in the United States at Chili's or Applebee's or any restaurant, really. You don't get to see in the kitchen and the workspace that your food's being prepared. So I would say eating on the streets allows you to do that. And if it looks gross, don't eat there. I mean, I feel like it's common sense. When are you going to hang out with the perms again?
Pronto. Actually, we already hung out with them.
But you don't know that yet.
I don't know if Justin uploaded a story. So we have another video coming with them soon, and then another adventure.
Soon. We've seen the perms more than anyone else this year. This will be our third time.
Yeah.
A new adventure.
Yes, we have a new adventure coming up with Los Perms. We're super excited about that. What else do you guys want to know? These are good questions. I feel like we got some good ones.
You have to be sure they aren't handling the money and the food without gloves.
Yes.
I feel like I'm on the lookout for that, and I feel like I've seen it once or twice. Thank you, Abel.
Gracias, Abel. Yes, so the person cooking the food should not
take your money.
Take your money. If they do, they should put on a different glove or something. Take the money, then take off that glove. And
somebody ran a 5K today.
Nice.
We should tell you guys about the run.
Yes.
So Greg is doing someone says earthquake. Nah. Greg is doing how many?
50 miles.
50 miles. That's a crap ton of kilometers race.
It's like 80 kilometers, something like that.
79 too many. In the Copper Canyon area, what's the actual name of the race? Caballo
Blanco. It's like the Yurique Caballo Blanco Ultra Marathon.
That's the official name of it. It's in March. We are going to the Copper Canyons in February. We are super excited. You guys have been begging us to go there. And someone says, was there an earthquake? Sorry, am I starting this now? There's no earthquake. Nothing's moving.
There was one yesterday.
Yeah.
A small one in Chiapas. Anyways, we are finally going to the canyons.
Yes. And of course, we wanted to go to the canyons, and we've been thinking about it for a long time, and like the timing never really worked out. And we had the chance to go now and also give back. So I feel like the timing, the purpose couldn't be more perfect. That said, Greg published a video a few days ago about him running 50 kilometers here in Mexico City on a Sunday. And there's a lot more information in that video, but we are actually helping out the children. So Greg's gonna run in this big, long, crazy race, and the day before, kids from all over the canyon, some of them run for like miles to even get to the starting spot, will run a shorter race for fun. And at the end of the race, the kids are throwing this giant party. Greg and I get to go. We get to help hand out medals. Obviously, you guys get to come along with us. But there is a GoFundMe. We'll put it in the comments below. Do you know the name of the GoFundMe?
I think it's GoFundMe.com/caballitos 2019.
Caballitos, like little horses?
I believe that's what it is.
2019. We'll put a link below, but anyways, we're super excited, and the money that's raised is spent to buy these kids backpacks and other supplies that they need for living every day in the canyons, as well as throwing them the best party and really helping them live the best day that they could have dreamed of until the next year when this happens. So I am super excited to go to the canyons, and like I said, being able to give back makes it that much more special.
Yes, and I think I saw something come across the screen. There's an indigenous group of people there, the Tarahumara, or the Tarahumara, or the Raramari.
Thank you so much, Miguel.
Oh, gracias, Miguel. Who are world-class ultra marathon runners, world-class runners, and they mostly run in huaraches. A lot of times just made from like tire rubber.
And I'm just gonna watch you all.
Okay. Someone mentioned the New York City Marathon, asked if I was in, and I think you have to be like accepted or something for that one. Not like the Boston Marathon where you have to qualify, but I think you have to apply and there's like some type of program. But we love New York City, so hey, that'd be fun to do. Don't go to Ajijic. We have been to Ajijic actually. Let's see. What other questions you guys have, or what else could we tell people? What else is interesting going on?
Apartment tour, meh.
Someone asked, is rent expensive in Mexico for the most part? No, not compared to.
It depends. I feel like I get emails like this all the time. Like, I mean, you can find a place for $200, and you can find a place for $200,000 US. It's sort of like, I guess it really just depends.
Someone asked, excellent question, what did you guys eat today? Well, this morning we had Sanborns. People who follow me on Kinetic Kennons Dos on Instagram in Español know that. I think I said that on Instagram.
Chilaquiles suizos.
We had chilaquiles suizos and chilaquiles verdes con pollo.
Because we have no food at the house. That's another thing. We're still learning how to live on our own. And we either have like way too much food and spinach is like going raw as we're trying to eat it, or we have no food except for like garlic cloves.
What guy?
I think I saw this. What tips do you have for first timers going to PV? Tim, send us an email at kineticcannons@gmail.com. We have tons of info I can push your way. It's just too hard for me to say right now.
Sunscreen.
Sweat towels.
We have a tip about if you go to the airport, the taxis there are I say they're very expensive. They're like normal prices coming from the States, but if you can take those for maybe like $20 or something to get into town to wherever you're going. I don't know how much luggage you have. If you don't have much luggage, you can leave the airport, walk across a bridge, and there's normal taxis there, and you'll save
$10.
You'll save $10. Like we would do that, but then I don't know.
We're broke and cheap. But if you have like carry-on, I mean, it's $10. You decide if it's worth it for you. It's a little bit uphill. You have to drag your bags up a ramp.
Yes. But
and
again,
if you're a first timer, it might be too much to tackle. Tim, send us an email.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Do you like aguas frescas?
Of course. That's like our first question when we get to every restaurant is like, what kind of aguas frescas do you have?
So a toddler says, new channel, cooking with La Güera. So sometimes I do cook on this channel, and we call it La Güera Cocinera. And someone says, how do you guys make a living? Do you work? That's interesting that you asked.
Todos los días, amigo.
So Kinetic Kennons is 100% community sponsored by people like you. So we rely 100% on YouTube ad revenue, and then also our Patreon page, which if you've not heard of Patreon, it works sort of like a monthly subscription type thing, as in you contribute a certain amount monthly, whether that's $1 or $1,000. I think it's always in US dollars. To support our work here in Mexico, and that is our sole source of income.
Someone asked, best panaderia in Mexico City. We absolutely love Panaderia, or actually it's Pasteleria Madrid in downtown. Also, Ideal is extremely popular, and what's the one that we went to that was like the bread was really, it's not actually what is a panaderia, but...
Which one?
The one, we made a video about it a few days, like a week or two ago, in Navarte.
Where you worked?
Yeah. Ooh. It was like Le Manier, L-E space M-A-N-I-E, I think.
Yeah.
Le Manier. That's not like a traditional Mexican panaderia, but the pan is super good.
When you go back to the United States, can you tell us the difference in flavors in terms of like beans or other things like that? I can tell you, we were there for Christmas, and I can tell you that food in the United States is really good, and I feel like we ate at some incredible Mexican food places. We had some great ones in Austin, actually. But everything lacks a little bit of flavor, but I don't even think it's flavor. I think it's just spice. Things in the United States aren't spicy, whereas here we put salsa on everything. Like without even thinking, without even trying our food, we will just douse that thing in salsa and lime, salt if we're crazy.
I think the difference here is if you're eating out in Mexico versus eating out in the United States, a lot of times when we're eating out in Mexico, it's just more fresh. And then if you get the same meal, it could be prepared by the same cook even, and I think it's just not going to taste quite the same. Gracias, Leah.
Oh, thank you so much, Leah. Dinner time with the Sykes family.
Have a good dinner.
Oh, thank you, Leah, and your boys.
It's just usually more fresh in Mexico, but don't get me wrong, there's still some good old Southern cooking in the States.
Biscuits and gravy. Sound me up! Someone asked about our Patreon page, and then I'll shut up about Patreon. It's Patreon, just search Patreon Kinetic Kennons. I think it's actually patreon.com/Kinetic Kennons. We'll drop it down there. Are those Charro Police? I can read it. Travel exploration to other countries. You guys are my YouTube travel channel. Yes, we do want to go. What other countries do you guys want us to visit?
What would be interesting for you to watch us go to?
Yeah, where do you guys want to virtually come with us?
We have a few different ideas, but there's still places in Mexico that we haven't been. But
I sort of want to see, like, we have a baby idea of Mexico. Like, we don't even have, like, to think about other Latin American countries, no, like, there are no mental images, there's no, like, food that I would recognize, and so we do want to travel to other countries. We just don't really know. We're actually not that particular, so where do you guys want to come with us?
Luis asked an interesting question. Do we like fruit with, like, with chile?
Oh, mangoes. Sí.
Oh, yeah, mangoes, sí. But, like, the first time we came, I remember going to a CrossFit party. Gracias, Felipe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And they had it, like, they had salsa and, like, chile powder on, like, watermelon. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I think mangoes for me, I never ate mangoes in the States. And so it's easy to go to put other stuff on it. But, like, things like papaya or, like...
Do you like jicama? Yeah.
I could eat jicama, I could do that. So some things yes, some things no. Mangos.
Yes, son mexicanos.
Definitivamente sí. What other questions? Someone, Dad gave saludos to Billy.
Only like 2 more minutes.
Only 2 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we need to cook dinner.
What are we having for dinner, you ask? Well, I have a half of a container.
Did someone actually ask that?
No. I have a half of a container of half and half, and we bought some sweet potatoes, so I'm going to make some sweet potato soup. And I found some frozen egg rolls.
Someone said the charro police are a joke. Without getting too much into police and politics, and not to disrespect too many, if anybody watching this is a cop, I haven't really seen any cops working in Mexico at all, so I don't really know. Like those police,
the
at
Charro
least
were
at least
super
friendly.
nice.
Where any other interaction I've ever had with police in Mexico has been extremely negative. So they might be a joke, but at least they provide a friendly face of the police force in Mexico, especially in a tourist area. So I think that's something.
And they were inviting kiddos to take pictures and like pet horses.
Normally, the police downtown are in riot gear and texting on their phones. So. Yeah. I'm okay with the Charro police.
Same. And their horses were cute. And they are very nice. Someone, Gerardo, that's really hard for me to say in Spanish, said they're very nice. They were extremely kind to us. And like Greg said, I think we actually caught part of it on camera when we walked up. Yeah. Do you use Uber Eats or Rappi? No, I would not recommend either one of them.
We tried it and our food never arrived.
We had terrible luck with the Uber Eats, and we'll never use it again, if we're being honest.
What do we think of the new Mexican president? New Mexico does not have a president. New Mexico has a governor. Oh, okay, that was cheesy. I'm sorry.
Do you like our president? No, we don't. We're not going to talk about that.
Really, we don't know anything about politics in the U.S. or.
And like, there's.
Thank you for watching us
every
day.
That's a lot. That's a lot of me.
That's a beatdown. That's a thank you for enduring. That is you think running 50 miles is hard? You endure us every day, and we highly appreciate it.
Ooh, very cold Connecticut. I've never been there.
Yeah. It seems like it'd be beautiful, but not right now when it's cold.
Yeah.
We'll take 2 or 3 more questions, and then we gotta cook, skedaddle.
Make sweet potato soup.
And then we have some fun plans for tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to pack. We need to pack to go somewhere. You guys pack your virtual bags.
We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, actually, it's like 4.5 new states soon.
Wait, 1? I got the first one. I got the one for tomorrow. Or Monday.
Yeah.
Where's the next one?
And then.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The one for the race. The one with.
Oh yeah. 4 new states. You're right.
And then a half that no one knows about.
Ooh.
Nobody.
Ain't nobody know about that. Oh, someone asked where the worst place you have eaten at. I thought that was an interesting question. I'm sorry, I missed it earlier. The worst place, like the worst restaurant?
I don't like Talks. Talks? I hate Talks.
Oh, yeah. We've only been to Talks.
No, not Talks. I'm sorry. Vips.
Oh, Vips.
I don't like Vips. I just can't do it.
I know. We can't get on the VIP board.
I love Sanborns, but...
We are VIP, but...
It's like the same thing, but I just can't do Vips.
I know. Yeah, we don't really like Vips. I don't know why. I was going to say one time we went to a Chinese buffet here in Mexico City, and there was a bug in my egg roll.
There may have been a bug in her egg roll, but...
No, there was. I saw legs.
I can't remember the name of it.
No, I can't remember the name of it either.
I mean, to be honest, we try like a lot of different places, but
Restaurant bathrooms,
that's really good or bad.
Do you get recognized walking around CDMX? Sometimes people will stop us. Usually they stop Greg because he stands a full 2 heads taller than anyone else in the streets. Sometimes people will stop Greg and say, hey, we've seen your videos. And that's really fun. It's always a surprise. I never, ever expect it.
It was interesting being with Los Perms the other day here in Mexico City because I feel like there'd be someone that would recognize us and someone would recognize them. And it was just cool meeting different people that knew us from different things and different ways. And
Ooh, have you been to La Casa de Toño? Yes.
Of course.
Oh, we love that. We could eat pozole instead of making our own sweet potato soup. That'd be way easier.
Yeah, we love Casa de Toño is like our go-to. Yeah. Like we need something quick, easy, cheap. And they're so fast.
We're really sad people.
Vips equals Denny's, but see, I kind of like Denny's.
Ew. Don't ruin it for us.
I kind of like Denny's. Super Bowl predictions. I predict the Patriots are gonna win.
Oh.
I don't know that I want them to win. I just feel like it's an easy bet.
All right, amigos, 25 seconds.
If you do run into us on the street, or like if you do see us, don't send us a message like the next day.
It makes me so sad.
And say, oh, I saw you, but I was too shy. Just come say hi. We love meeting people.
And we're totally normal.
We're not normal, but definitely come say hi to us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
What is a bowl of? What does a bowl of pozole?
What is a bowl of pozole? It's
cost maybe, or what is it, or what does it cost?
It costs like 70 pesos maybe.
It's like 50.
Or cheaper.
It costs
50, yeah. And it's a hominy-based
8 seconds too late.
So
okay.
hominy-based Mexican.
Thank you guys. Firefly Sanctuary in Tlaxcala. We missed that last year. It's during summer. That's right. I'll add it to the list. Okay. Thank you guys so much for hopping on.
Have a wonderful day. We will not have a video on YouTube tomorrow. We'll try and post like an old video or something.
Everyone take care. Thank you so much for your continued
Mexican for Golovkin. Man, you've been with us for so long.
For so long.
We appreciate you. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. Adios. Bye-bye.